Oh wow, my game just crashed. Hello? Welcome back, my newbie gamers. We're back at the Stanley Parable and we're going to kick some ass. We're going to play this game through, and let's just begin, because I can't wait anymore. I just want to get this over with. Come on. I don't have all the time. Please load. Load. Yes, thank you. And we're going to skip through that video and we're going to play. Of course, again, 47.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could that mean? I
Stanley
know.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I didn't miss anything.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Okay, well, this time we're going left. Here you go.
Yet there was not a single person here.
No, I can see that.
Feeling a
You don't have
wave
to
of
tell me that,
disbelief,
mister.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, okay. So this time, we shouldn't enter the code.
Stepping into his manager's office,
'Cause that's
Stanley
way
was
too
once
easy.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Extra secret.
2845. But of
Well,
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
no. No. Because I'm dumb. You know that. I couldn't have known that. So, we're stuck around here, I guess. Let's just...
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Let's just enter something. No. Okay.
2845.
Do I really have to enter that? I mean, that feels like cheating, you know? And I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater of life.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
Oh wow!
And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. Oh, I like this guy. I like this guy very much. He's my new best friend. I know that for sure. Let's go down the elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Really? Well, let's go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, so I should go there. When we end this, I really want to see what's the what the escape is about. I wonder if you really can escape. I guess not, but I really wonder what would happen then.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, this guy, he sits all day in the office. I don't know if he got the strength. I mean, it's just like another
Now
puppet.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where
I mean,
freedom...
how is that different from life? Everyone doesn't have privacy. I mean, the FBI
This
can look into us.
mind-control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
No!
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
That's me. I'm a hero. I mean, that's just me. This time we're going to turn it off. I wonder what's going to happen. Did I just die?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Of course it's not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Wait.
Freedom was mere moments away.
What's going to
And
happen?
yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This is so beautiful. So beautiful.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Look at
This
this
was
scenery.
exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I'm finally happy. Oh. Oh, my heart. Oh. Okay, I guess I just beat the game. And we're back again. Alright, I really want to see...
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit.
Shut up.
Was it a
Shut
sign
up.
of something?
Shut up.
He hoped it was.
Shut
he hoped
up.
very much that it
No,
was.
shut up. I really want to see what that escape is about.
When Stanley came to a set
Left.
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I really want to see what's downstairs too. Maybe I'll go there in a
Stepping
minute.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication
was
of
it
any
again?
human life. What could it
4.
mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
I don't remember.
To nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling
Please
books
shut
off
up.
the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. but his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Yeah.
What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number. 284. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Such a high ceiling.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, let's go down again. And let's see what that escape is about. Alright, let's go. Let's see.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That sounds nice. That sounds very nice. I mean,
the door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, I want to die.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Let me die, please. Let me die. Wow. Where am I? Hey, what?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
demise,
he reflected
oh, this
that
is
his
bad.
life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Oh no.
Stanley
Let me leave.
The bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
That doesn't look good at all.
From a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Kablam!
Stanley.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, my co-workers.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaw.
Who is she?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Well, I hope so. Wait, what? What happened?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Where am I?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Nature
Do you
papers.
see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Stanley's computer. Office layout. Wait. This was all planned. This was all planned. 2 doors. Yes. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Doors. The office. Button sounds. Nice. Isn't this nice? Which way should I go? Maintenance room. Oh, nice, nice. I like this. I like this very much. Wait, what's this? I haven't been there. Alien base. This makes me wonder. Oh wow, my game just crashed. Hello? And we're back at the beginning.
All
Okay.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, can I please turn it off? I actually can't.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Last thing I wanna try out.
When Stanley came to a
Are
set of 2 open
stairs.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's see.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
I'm
walked
going up.
upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Nope.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Am I just
And then
walking
something occurred to
circles?
Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no
Wait.
reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Wait.
And as
Exit-
Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yeah, they
No,
are.
Stanley
I
said to
know.
himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may
Okay.
as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I'm
So,
just getting
he
bored.
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Wait.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just
Get
he
it
would
over
prove
with.
it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I somehow don't find his voice really soothing.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
The end.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Who is Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
That isn't creepy at all, and this shit is so fucked up. My god, man. Okay, I just had about enough of this game. I don't like where it goes. I'll have to end this episode right here. I hope you liked joining me for this journey, seeing what this game has to offer to us. Apparently it just offers us death and all that kind of crazy things. This isn't a happy game at all. So I'll have to end it, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.